like being in touch with your feelings of where you're at and like the every breath kind of thing, because
So we're gonna have 7 steps, and they're things that we're trying to do for 40 days in a row. And every week we're gonna look at one of those steps, we're gonna break it down, we're gonna talk about it, okay? And then at the same time, every week we're gonna try to dismantle a habit that is not serving us, that is destructive.
You don't feel understood. And guess what? They don't either. You don't get me?
When you all have been around longer, you've been through more life, you do know more. I mean, you just have to, you can't live for 50 more years and not know more. But at the same time, to be able to say, hey, I don't know this.
So it's asking sincere questions and listening because we want to understand.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. All of a sudden, she breaks his heart. What's the next move?
yeah.
Blasted out. And then it goes viral around your school.
Where does the stress come from?
I think a lot of it comes from like reputation and like image.
Someone used my picture and set up a profile. It hurt me really badly. It would have hurt me less, but when I figured out who it was either someone who I'd known for 3 years or someone I knew for 8. So it hurt me a lot, honestly.
Like Lena said, like you want to say something back and be like, oh, well, you did this and blah, blah, but then that just makes you look worse.
Exactly.
So she's just sitting here taking it and everybody's watching it on social media like, oh, did you see what blah, blah said? And then you can't do anything about it.
Now, how often have you seen that happen? Has anybody ever seen that happen?
Yeah.
Everybody has seen that happen? But the new normal is everything is click, 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 video, Vine, bang, Snapchat, tweet. And it's just like, that's just the way, I mean, you wouldn't even think anything of it because it's always been that way for you. The first generation's ever had it like that your whole life.
I forget that I can control that because I feel bombarded by the media and all these things going on that like I forget that I can turn that off. And that I do have a voice and I can say like, oh, I'd rather like read this book or do that, and I don't have to be on Facebook for hours. Like, forget that I'm making that choice to like put myself in that environment.
We're talking about just weed.
Just weed?
Yeah.
I walk down the street and I hear kids getting off the school bus talking about it. And I'm not talking about just middle schoolers.
Correct.
And that actually hits me a little bit closer now.
Yeah.
I think something risky that people think isn't a big deal is that kids nowadays think it's like easier and safer to just sell like weed. Like, I mean, obviously that leads to other drugs, but they think, oh, if I sell my friends a couple like dye bags or whatever, it's not going to be a big deal. But all those kids, it always ends up the same way. Start hanging out with bad people, do bad things, go to jail, get expelled, everything. It's the same road. And I see it in so many like freshmen and sophomores.
It's people you wouldn't really look at and say, yeah, that guy's a stoner. And it could be anybody who's like an opiate addict, or you see like just honor roll students or valedictorians dying of a heroin overdose. And like when my family first found out about my addiction, it was like they were shocked. It's like you don't look like a heroin
You
addict.
don't fit the
Yeah,
profile.
I was like, well, yeah, it was, and it made it that much easier to get away with. Like,
Yeah.
You just wouldn't. There's no really stereotypical person you can point at and say that person's going to be a junkie.